one. Ladies and gentlemen, around the world, welcome to another incredibly entertaining, incredibly funny, incredibly uplifting live stream from your good buddy, MonroeMann. What's up, Mr. Good Cat? Great to see you. That pretty person, great to see you. Violetta, great to see you. Violetta I just watched part of her live stream. She did an amazing drawing of a Cadillac. And I hope she has it set to live in public so that you guys can watch that later, because she did a really, really top-notch job. Something I'll just share with you before we get into today's live stream. I learned, I don't usually schedule the live streams, but somebody asked me earlier, I think that pretty person said, here, let me make CLVR a moderator, because I told him I would. Cool. Once you have enough subscribers and you have enough fans who actually are looking forward to your live streams, if you schedule them, you may end up having people here immediately when you start. Usually I just do them randomly, and it takes about 2 or 3 minutes before people get the notifications to get here. But this time, there were 3 people waiting because I scheduled it. So when you're setting up your live streams, you can do schedule later. So anyway, maybe that's something for me to think about, to potentially get more people here right at the beginning. Because if I schedule it, or if I'll set specific times where every stream is at 9 a.m., 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. I don't know. I'm just experimenting. We're figuring things out. Emmeline, great to see you. CLVR, great to see you. That pretty person, great to see you. And everybody else, great to see you. Great to see 3 likes already. That pretty person gets a super thumbs up because she was the first person in the chat, or he. It's hard to tell on these chats who anyone is. Cozy Kitty in the house. Now this guy, Cozy Kitty, you guys also know him as Zane. I mean, I'm really getting good at this watch time thing, and I'm proud of myself that after 18 years I figured it out. This guy, every time you go to his channel, he's got 6,000 more subscribers. I have no idea what he's doing. I'm really in awe. And Cozy Kitty, if you can figure it out, that would be amazing for so many people who are struggling to get subscribers, because people are impressed with me that I'm getting 200 new subscribers per week. You, Zane, and that's Cozy Kitty, who's in the chat, for those of you who don't know. When I first discovered him, that he had a YouTube channel, which was about a week ago, he had 8,000 subscribers. It's been about a week. He's got like 22,000 today. And all he does are these little animation videos, which I'll be honest, Zane, I don't quite understand them. I don't know who your audience is, but Zane has figured out a target audience. And when he posts one of his videos, boom, he gets another 3,000 subscribers. So, Zane, I give you a salute, because it's pretty amazing. Let me see some of these new people here. We've got Jack Snyder in the house. We have Jace in the house. Hello, friend. Emmeline is in the house. Raven Blue. That's a beautiful screen name. Raven Blue. CLVR says, I wish I got 200 subs a week. Can I tell you this, CLVR? 3 weeks ago, in my YouTube analytics, it tells me, I see in the last 7 days, it says like 500% more subscribers than you got in the previous year. It's unbelievable. Don't give up, guys. Keep figuring out by experimenting with different formats. If you were doing the exact same thing every single day and you're not getting likes, you're not getting subscribers, you're not getting viewers, there's something wrong. And I didn't realize that until I started doing the live streams and realized this is the medium that works for me. And maybe live streaming is not going to be the best way for you to get watch time or subscribers. Maybe it's from doing shorts. And the shorts end up pushing people to your long form videos. Anyway, don't give up. That pretty person has 22. Shane, fit workout. Shane, I do workout videos here. I don't know if you know. And I had the most likes ever on a live stream by doing one of my fitness things. 35 likes. Mind blowing. It was absolutely crazy. Thanks for subscribing. Guys, check out if you want to do fitness. It looks like Shane is doing fitness videos maybe on his channel. Check him out as well. He's right in the chat. Shane Fit Workout. Thanks for the hearts. Bay Chess Report says, you sound like Chomo saying kitty. I don't know who Chomo is, but I say kitty more sexily than anyone on the planet, so Chomo must be a really awesome person. Thank you, Cozy Kitty. You're amazing too. I'm inspired by your amazing meteoric rise in subscribers. Figure it out, Zane. Figure out what you're doing that's working, that's resonating. Find out which videos are the ones that are getting these subscribers and then just replicate that. I mean, I really think that Zane could potentially, Cozy Kitten here, I think he could be in 1 million subscribers very soon. When I say soon, it could take a couple of years. But he's on a great track. Logan, it's your birthday. First of all, you can get a shout out even if you didn't sub because it's your birthday. I'm going to sing you happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Logan Bear. Happy birthday to you, Logan Bear. Logan Bear. Sounds like you're a bear, but it's B-A-R-E. Anyway, happy birthday, my friend. Thank you. Yaritza Vega, hello. Chuck Yasone, Elisa VR, Venice Barron. We've got Lily Shorts. Great to see you again from Spain. Gamer FR. Watch Speeds live tomorrow. And what's up, Irvin Hernandez? Great to see you. Melvin Johnson, Skylar Rubash, Famoyas, and CLVR. I did something to my Achilles yesterday. It still hurts. Rest it. If you hurt your Achilles tendon, don't stress that out anymore. Make sure you are not pushing yourself. Give yourself a couple of days to rest. Thank you, Danielle Johnson, for subbing. And by the way, guys, I'm realizing something. Getting subscribers, and Zane, you probably can know what I'm talking about. Getting subscribers alone doesn't mean anything. What matters is, do you have subscribers who click notifications, either personalized or all? And then when you go live or when you post a video, do those subscribers actually come back to your channel and click like, leave a comment, or do something to interact with your channel? There are some channels that have 1 million subscribers, and when they post something, nothing happens. So don't get caught in the idea of I just need to get millions of subscribers. No, you need to engage with your audience. This applies to anything. It has nothing to do, not just YouTube. A general marketing tip is, if you engage with your audience, think about this. Imagine I have the most devoted audience of 100 subscribers or 100 fans, and they love me so much that they each give me $500 a month. Just imagine. It's possible. I'm sure. I mean, think about that. $500 times 100. That's $50,000 a month. I think anyone here on this live chat would be very excited to get $50,000 a month. You could do that with 100 subscribers on your channel or 100 fans if they love you that much because you engage with them so incredibly strongly. So stop trying to get massive amounts of subscribers, massive amounts of customers, massive amounts of clients, massive amounts of friends. You don't need massive amounts of anything. You need a small group of truly engaged people. And I'm realizing that's what I'm getting here. And honestly, I have more engagement now on my channel and on my live streams than a lot of people with 20 times as many subscribers who don't really connect with the audience. So please stop trying to get subscribers, stop trying to get likes, stop trying to get watch time. That's not your number one mission. Is figure out some way to connect, even if you have 2 people who just fall in love with you. That's your core. And then it'll just grow from there. By the way, today's subject, we haven't even gotten to our topic for today, which is feeling overwhelmed. Let's fix that. So in a moment, we're going to start talking about this idea of, and this is something we all experience at times, where we feel like we are completely overwhelmed with our lives, with our jobs, with our to-do lists, with our responsibilities, whatever. No one operates well when feeling overwhelmed. Before I get into that, let me just look more at some of these comments. Hi, Thomas Ray. We only have like 2 or 3 people left here now, so all these people that I'm saying hi to are completely gone right now. But I'll still say hi to them anyway. And Dreamster Nambi, what's your favorite vacation? I cannot wait to go back to China. I love that place so much. I cannot wait to go see all my friends in Shanghai. And I'm looking forward to going back there either this year or next. That pretty person, can you make me mod if I'm there, or can you make the stream? I got to figure that out. So many people want to be mods now. I'm touched. We have to figure this out. If you want to be a moderator, you have to send me an email. Figure out how to send me an email. That's your first test if you want to be a moderator, because you got to prove that you can navigate the internet. So send me an email, and that first step is I know who you are. Second step is I trust you. Third step, send me an email. Fourth step is I have to go over all the rules with you, and you decide if you want to take this role, because it's starting to become more of a serious thing. Gurvinder Singh, hello, happy birthday, Lily. Thanks, happy birthday. It's my grandpa's birthday. Say the word good if you're reading this. I just said it because I just read that. My dad almost died on my birthday. Did you try to kill your dad on your birthday? That's kind of what that statement says, Lily Shorts. And wasn't listening for a sec. I almost drowned. Why has almost everyone died? One time I was at a sleepover. It was loud. I got overwhelmed and started crying. Lily, I'm happy to know that you did not try to kill your father on your birthday. That would have been very, very bad, daughter. Okay, we're done with all of these initial comments. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes for today. When you're feeling overwhelmed. I talked the other day about, there is this, what would you call it? A range of stress in which people function. If you have zero stress, let's say my chin is 0 and my head is 100%. If you have zero stress in your life, you're here down at that pretty person, you got to figure it out. Figure it out. Here's my chin, 0% stress. If this is how much stress that you have, you're not going to do anything. You are the epitome of a lazy person. You're a person who either has no dreams or you have lots of dreams but zero motivation. And your life is decent enough that you're willing to just sit around and wake up, open up your trust fund bank account, and you got $3 million in there, and you decide you're going to just whatever. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to do anything today because I got $1 million in the bank. 0% stress. It's not good. If you have 0% stress, you are basically living a very lazy life. On the other hand, let's say you're up here at 100%. If you have 100% stress, that's the opposite, equally bad situation to be in. If you have 100% stress, yes, Eduardo, I'm from the US. 100% stress, you can't function because there is so much going on in your brain taking you in this direction, then this direction, and you're just like, right? That is 100% stress. That is equally bad. That's when I hear people say, oh, I function best under stress. That's not really true. They're not talking about 100% stress. They're talking about something like 50% stress. Right here at my eyes. By the way, something that a lot of people don't know is that the eyes are really 50% in most people between here and here. Look at that proportion. If you're an artist, this is important to know. Look at this. Right here is to my chin, and I'm not moving. I'm just going to move it up. Boom. That goes right to the top of my head. Pretty cool. Same thing from here, obviously, is the same distance from here to here. So when you're making a face, the eyes are not high. It seems like they're very high, but it's actually completely in the center of most people's faces. So when I say if you're overwhelmed, I feel most people operate the best when they are between 30% and maybe 50 to 60% stress right here. Remember, I'm saying this is 0, this is 100%, this is the sweet spot. You're stressed enough that it forces you to hustle. It gets you out of the bed in the morning and you don't immediately start surfing the internet and watching random YouTube videos. You get out of bed and you actually start doing something. That's between 30 and 60% stress level. So when people say, oh, I operate best under stress, they're talking about here 30 to 60% stress, because I guarantee you if they are being tortured and getting beaten and being told they are going to get killed and electrocuted, well, that's 100% stress, and I don't think anybody's going to really operate really well when you're up here. But that is when you are feeling completely overwhelmed. And the thing is, none of us are really there. When we get above our sweet spot, for some people it could be 40%, for some it's going to be 60, for some 70. I think because of my military training, me being in Iraq, me getting through police academy, I have a higher stress tolerance than a lot of people. But what you need to do is, where is your stress tolerance? And you need to operate almost exactly, like tiny bit below it. If your stress tolerance is 30%, you need to be operating at 29% almost all the time. Why? Because it's going to push you to your max without making you feel overwhelmed. Let's say your stress tolerance is right here, 30%, and your optimum area for operating at peak proficiency is at 29%. As soon as you hit 31%, that's when you start breaking down. Oh my God, I'm crazy. I'm going crazy. I got too much going on. I'm stressed out. Everything is a mess. All right, before we go into that further, let's look at the chat and see what you guys were saying. And here we go. Got really sick. I'm the only person who hasn't almost died. That's a good thing, CLVR. Yeah, I almost died a week ago when my parachute had a big problem skydiving. I did a live stream a few days ago. It's called I Think I Almost Died Today, skydiving. And are you from the US? I answered that. Thanks for the hearts. Love that. And for the likes, and I hope I'll get some new subscribers from this. Eduardo, yeah, I'm from the US. Steven, are oranges orange because oranges are orange, or is the color orange from oranges? It's a very philosophical question, Steven. And here's the scientific answer, and I'm just learning this from my biology class that I'm in right now at Miami-Dade College. Let's just use the color green, because when we look at leaves, we think that they are the color green, but they aren't. They're just leaves absorb every single light ray that is not green. And it allows every green light ray that hits it from the color spectrum to be reflected. So when we're looking out at the tree and the leaves are green, we are seeing green light rays that are being reflected and they're going into our eyes. So to answer your question about the orange, you said, are oranges orange because oranges are orange, or is the color orange from oranges? The answer is no to all of them. Oranges appear to be orange because they absorb every light ray except light rays that are orange, which get reflected. Do I completely understand that? Absolutely not. And if it's kind of weird to you, I get it. I'm still learning, and I'm the first person to admit that I don't understand pretty much anything. Maybe I know more than some people on certain subjects, but I am not the be-all and end-all. But I think that's the basic scientific understanding of how colors work. So what I would suggest you do is read up more about the visible spectrum of light rays. Read up about why our eyes perceive color. And I think you'll have a better understanding of why oranges appear orange. CLVR. I'm surprised you said that sentence that actually made sense with saying six. Did I say the word six? I don't know what. Explain that to me. Oranges, yo, hello, Zaire. Eduardo Fernandez, are you a psychologist? No, I have no psychology license, and I am not a psychiatrist, but I do have a PhD in psychology. I have what's known as a research-based PhD, and I did my research on the decision-making processes of successful entertainers. I'm eventually going to put my dissertation online. If you want to read it, you can just search for MonroeMann ResearchGate. And I will eventually put a link on there, but just search for MonroeMann ResearchGate on the internet, and you'll be able to find it. You can download and read my research for free. The trucks are actually water trucks. I'm not sure which trucks we're talking about. Oh, fire trucks are actually water trucks. Stephen, that is insightful. You are correct. Fire trucks are actual, it's anything. They're not fire trucks, they're anti-fire trucks, right? This is something that really bothers me. I don't like when people say, like, they're wearing the pink shirt and they ask, and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and people go, oh, what are you wearing the t-shirt for? Oh, I'm raising money for breast cancer. No, you're not, because that's pretty insane. You're raising money to fight breast cancer. And then I'll find them, what are you doing? Why are you wearing that bracelet? Oh, I'm raising money for child trafficking. I should hope you are not raising money for child trafficking. I should hope you're raising money to combat child trafficking. Anyway, that's a pet peeve of mine, and I hope you guys will not make that mistake. Usually you're raising money against it. What are you doing? I'm raising cancer awareness. You should be, that's I guess possible, cancer awareness. But it's usually I'm raising money to fight cancer. That's really what most of these cancer institutes are. It's not about raising, everybody knows about cancer. What you should be doing is raising awareness about how we can fight cancer and raising awareness about, say, the American Cancer Society that is fighting to find a cure for cancer. Thanks for subbing, Lily. My is almost at 2,500 subscribers. That's right, Mikhail. I don't know where you've been. You've disappeared. And then you decide to come back 3 days later and boom, skyrocketing. Mr. Goodcat was looking at the view statistics from a week and a half ago. Look at the number of views on my live streams from a week and a half ago. It was 40, 50, 100. Now, in the last 2 days, 700, 900, 800. It is so weird that things are really taking off. I'm glad you guys are part of this. We're doing this together. I'm not doing this. Who's doing it? You guys are doing this. I want to say something about fans. I'll do another live stream. Mr. Goodcat, if you're still here, write that down, or any of the mods, remind me, write this down. I want to do a live stream about the importance of fans. Really important. What I will just say is, any movie star or rock star or TV star, I don't think they appreciate the fans as much as they really should. And sometimes they'll go, I want to just thank, hello, I'm at the Oscars, I won the Oscar, I want to say thank you to all my fans, right? And I'm thinking, it's such a lip service. A lip service means it's just words. I don't think they really care. They're just told to say that. But the truth is, if it were not for the fans, thanks, Goodcat, for sending me. I just got a message from him. If it weren't for fans, if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. If I didn't do that first live stream and saw that a few people showed up and said, hey, that was really nice, there is no way I'd still keep doing this. I'm doing this because you guys are here. So anyway, we'll talk about that later. I'm going to do a whole stream on the importance of fans, because fans, I actually started creating a not-for-profit called the International Fan Alliance. And Good Cat, send me a message that says that too. Stream about International Fan Alliance, because maybe I could revive that now that I've got a bunch of fans. It's a really cool concept that I think could revolutionize the film and movie and book industries by putting fans in control, or at least getting more respect than I think they're getting right now in the world. And Lily, now you have 4 subscribers. Yeah, congratulations, Lily. And hey, Lily Shorts, let's try to get her to 5 subscribers. I think if you guys are giving me hearts and giving me likes, I hope some of you can go and check out Lily Shorts. She's in the chat. Let's get her to 5 subscribers. I know someone here is going to make that happen. Steven RBX, lucky to be Lily right now. And I can't find your email. That pretty person. If you can't find my email, you cannot be a mod. Figure it out. You are smart. You're resourceful. I know you can do it. Okay, great. CLVR, guys, in the future, please don't let people know where they can find my phone number. There are some maybe crazy people on the stream lurking who aren't speaking up and stuff, and try not to publicly share stuff privately about me that's going to maybe get me spammed or doxxed or something like that. If people want to get in touch with me, they need to make an effort, and if they cannot figure it out on their own, then they shouldn't be getting in touch with me. So no problem, CLVR, but in the future, don't do that. Mr. Good Cat got it. More like Gray Cat. You were so successful. Okay, sorry for doing that. No problem. We live and learn. So again, we're going back to being overwhelmed. So where were we right now? We're realizing that we cannot succeed in life if we were at 0% stress. People who say, I just want to have a stress-free life. No, you don't. A stress-free life is incredibly boring. And Steven RBX, we're going to go back to your crazy philosophical tongue twisters in a moment because I love them. So thanks for sharing them. Think about, I don't know if you know, statistically, people who retire. People work for 20, 30 years. Some people do. At the same job, and then all they're doing every year is counting the years until they can retire and live stress-free. Well, guess what? What happens to those people who retire? One of 2 things. They either die very quickly, or they get so bored that they either go back to get another job, or they start a business, or they start traveling. So don't wish for a stress-free life. That is the worst thing you could ask for in your life, because you will end up doing nothing, and you will be bored, and you will have no purpose left in life. At the same time, you do not want to have 100% stress up here, because once you have 100% stress, literally that could lead you to absolutely going psychologically bonkers, or, and again, I don't like talking about suicide, but I have a PhD in psychology and it is an important topic. And I think people should be okay talking about it, because I want to make sure that no one ever gets there, including myself and including you. And you need to recognize all of us operate somewhere best between about 30 to 60% stress in our lives. If you go above 60% stress, you have got to take a vacation. You have got to slow down. I talked in the live stream a couple of days ago about you need to slow down sometimes. I had to slow down with something that I was pursuing about creating a Discord for this group, because it was stressing me out. I told you I can operate best at around 69% stress. Or at 70% maybe. If I get above 70%, I start to go bonkers. And that Discord group, as great of an idea as it was, and still may be in the next months to come, it was putting me at 71% or higher stress, and it was making me hate life. And when you hate life, usually it probably means you have a lot of stress going on. You feel like you are overwhelmed and you don't know what to do. I tell you this, the solution is not to go from, let's just say I'm at 71%. The solution is not to go immediately to zero. The solution is not to quit everything. The solution is not to go cold turkey and then just go away for a 6-month retreat and just quit your job, quit everything, shut down the YouTube channel. That's an overreaction. And anytime, you guys all know, there are times in your lives when you have overreacted and then almost immediately you go, oh no, I made a mistake. You don't, when you are stressed and you are overstressed, and the more stressed you are overstressed, the more overstressed you are, the more likely you're going to make a snap decision that you're going to regret. So the first step when you are feeling overwhelmed, all you have to do is slow down a little bit. Slow down a little bit to get yourself, if in my case, if my maximum stress level is 70% where I can still function well. And like I said, each one of you is going to have a different high functioning stress level. Someone who's been in the military, someone who's a police officer, someone who's a fireman, they're going to have higher stress tolerances because they've gone through training that is designed to push them to operate under stressful conditions. If you are someone who has lived a less stressful life, then maybe your stress level is 50 or 40. You got to figure out what that is. And so that's why when someone else at a higher stress level is saying, come on, what are you doing? Let's go. Well, maybe they don't understand that you don't have that higher stress capacity that they do. And so this is where you need empathy in life. Let me look at some comments here. And all right, why is a delivery in a car? This is from Steven RBX. He's giving us our philosophical tongue twisters of the stream. Why is a delivery in a car called a shipment, but a delivery in a ship is called a cargo? Guys, that is amazing. Steven RBX, I hope you subscribe. I hope you come back to all of my live streams. And I hope you will subscribe to the Break Diving channel as well. I think we would benefit from your awesome wisdom there. That's true. A delivery in his car is called a shipment. Delivering a ship is called a cargo. Thumbs up to you for making me laugh. I'm sure you've made a lot of the people on the stream laugh too with that. It's brilliant. Jeff Kessler, back in the house. What's up? Great to see you. Think Douglas MacArthur. He spent 50 years basically in the Army. Think his life was easy. No. Douglas MacArthur's life was not easy. And good for him that he was able to stay in the 50 years in the Army. I couldn't do it. I spent 8 or 9 years. That's a pretty good haul. But hats off to MacArthur for doing that longer. I will say this, guys. I think it's important to put yourself into stressful situations. You can increase your stress tolerance if you do it in increments. I can't tell you how much my confidence has increased and my ability to overcome my fear by continually getting into an airplane and jumping out of it. And people think that, oh, it must get a lot less scary each time you do it. Well, each time I do it, I try to do something a little bit differently to kind of keep pushing my stress tolerances. Once I've learned how to dive out of the airplane, okay, then I try to go, let me do a backflip out of the airplane. Okay, let me try a front flip. Okay, let me try hanging out of the airplane on the side of the fuselage and then jump from the camera step. A week ago, my parachute had problems. Oh my gosh, the stress level went super high, and I'm going to go skydiving again. Because now I know that the reserve parachute works. My stress tolerance is even higher now. And that applies now to everything else I do in my life. And I'm glad I keep pushing my stress tolerance because I think it's making my life a little bit easier to bear because I'm able to handle things. And that's a lesson that I learned from that skydiving incident from last week. I mean, was I feeling overwhelmed? Not really. And why? because I was trained every time before I went up on a skydive, they have this fake airplane in the hangar, and it has a list of all of the 16 things that are likely to happen if there's a malfunction. And go figure, the one malfunction that happened to me is not one of those 16. But what did I train all the time? I would always pull my parachute at 5,500 feet because I want to always give myself enough time to make emergency procedures if there's a problem. I always know to, number one, be level with the parachute. You have to be level. So as soon as I pulled the parachute at 5,500, I realized very quickly that there was a problem. But the first thing I was thinking is, okay, first make it level, which I did. I got the parachute level, which is not always possible. But then the next thing I realized, I looked at my altimeter on my arm, looks kind of like a watch, and I'm like, okay, I'm at 5,000 feet. I don't need to make a decision until 2,500 feet about whether to get rid of the main parachute. I realized I had 2,500 feet to make a decision. That reduced my stress so much because I gave myself wiggle room. So that's another tip. How do you get to feel less overwhelmed? And we'll talk about this in a moment. You need to reduce your stress level. Some of these crazy guys skydiving, some of them with less jumps than me. I have 56 jumps. They get their A license at 25 jumps, and then immediately instead of pulling their parachute at 5,500 feet, they pull it at 3,500. Oh my gosh, I think these guys are idiots. Absolute bonkers. Because they are giving themselves no wiggle room. Just to get an extra 5 or 7 seconds of free fall time, they're going to put themselves in that situation where if there's a problem, they only have about 500 to 1,000 feet to make a decision. That's not going to bring your stress levels down. That's going to put it very high. And if you choke and don't make a decision quickly enough, you're in trouble. So let's read some comments. I never knew my name was so rare, and I'm also named after a flower. That's right, Lily. It's a beautiful flower, by the way. Kitten Bobber is back. Great to have you here. CLVR, you need to have 50% down to 30% stress. Again, if your stress level, if your max is 50% and you get up to like 65% because of something that happens, you need to bring that down. Definitely, I'd probably bring it down to 40% so you can calm down. And I will tell you this, you probably don't, if your my max, let's just say, is about 70%, I do not want to be operating at 70% all the time. Because then if something does happen, Murphy's Law, I talk about Murphy's Law all the time, which means the worst thing that could happen is going to happen. Well, if you're operating at 70% and the worst thing happens, the worst thing that could happen is something happens that pushes your stress level to 85%. And then you're in big, big trouble. That is why I pull my parachute at 5,500 feet always, and I will probably do that for the rest of my parachute career as a sport parachutist. Because I don't want to operate at 70%. By pulling my parachute at 5,500 feet, it is keeping my stress level probably around, let's say, 60% at all times when I'm skydiving. That way, if there is a problem, like there's a parachute malfunction, maybe I'll end up to 75%. But that's only 5% higher than my really max functioning level. And look, we can all function for a period of time if we're above our own max level. So if I'm at 70%, I can function at 85% for a while. Let's just say for an hour. And I could function at 90% stress for maybe 45 minutes. And I could function at 95% for maybe 15 minutes. And maybe for 1 minute at 100%. But you can see, the higher you are above your max level of stress, you need to very quickly bring it down to below your max level. That's what I was saying before. You don't want to just give up. Why do some people die skydiving? I think they get pushed to their 100% and they just shut down and they don't make any decisions and they stop making emergency decisions. They stop calming themselves. They stop saying, okay, what do I need to do? First thing, let me check my altitude. Secondly, what are all of my options? And you start thinking about it clearly. If you are at 100% stress and you don't bring it down within a minute to way below your threshold, you are gonna die, basically. Or your dream is gonna die. Or your business is gonna die, right? So let me look at comments and then we're gonna talk about, okay, how then do you bring your stress level down to below your max level so that you can start to breathe again? Oh, but before I wanted to say, too many people, when they get overly stressed, they just shut down and they go to zero. And they just give up on everything. You know what I'm talking about. All of a sudden, sometimes, I don't know what, I have some people who join breakdiving. That's my community. I'd love you to join it. It's a not-for-profit. We got members all around the world. It's the happiest, friendliest, most supportive community on the internet. Some people will join. And I'll get a message for them on breakdiving, and they'll say, oh my gosh, Monroe, this is the most amazing community ever. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to certify dives. I can't wait, blah, 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 blah. They are so frenzied up that they get so overwhelmed with the community and all the stuff that they're doing. A week later, they have completely disappeared. They are posting every day, getting so many points. They're submitting dive certification, and then they just disappear. Why? Because they went to 100% stress so quickly, trying to get involved with everything, that their only option was, I gotta just quit. The same thing happens on New Year's Eve. When you have New Year's resolutions. Think about that. How many times do you have the biggest New Year's resolution, I'd say probably in the world, is I'm gonna get fit this year. This is the year I lose weight. This is the year I get a six-pack. This is the year I learn how to do 50 push-ups. This is the year I learn to lose 30 pounds. And what do? You're gonna laugh when I say this because either you do it or you know a friend who's done it. They join a gym and they say, I'm going to the gym every day for 2 hours. Give me a like, give me a subscribe if you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it might be you. And what do? So they went to 100% stress. Because why 100% stress? Because they are putting so much pressure on themselves to go to the gym every day for 2 hours. This is somebody who has not ever gone to the gym, has never worked out, has never gone on a diet, and that finally they're going from 0 to 100 miles per hour. And what do? They're doing it for about 2 or 3 days, 4 days, then something comes up. They have a doctor's appointment that he or she forgot about. They just get tired, they oversleep, something happens. And they miss Thursday. And then suddenly they have failed. And the stress is so high and they feel so overwhelmed because they did not succeed at doing every day at the gym for 2 hours. It was only 4 days. Or let's say they get to 4 weeks and then this happens. And then what happens? They give up completely. They just do not go to the gym anymore. Some of you may know this with some of these apps that have these daily streaks. There's a language app called Drops. Same with Busu. But I'll start with Drops. This is the one that I found when I was in Shanghai, China in September 2019. That's when this Drops app, I think, came out. And it's an amazing app that increases your vocabulary. It doesn't really teach you grammar, doesn't teach you how to speak, but it will max your vocabulary very quickly in any chosen language. I recommend that if you want to learn vocabulary for a language you're studying. It's called Drops. So I got Drops, and it had a streak feature. And I like that. I'm excited, and I was excited about it at first because I know how psychology works, and that was like the New Year's resolution. I'm going to go to the gym every day for 2 hours. So my goal was I'm going to use drops every single day. While I was in China, I did that. For 3 months, I was using drops every single day. And I had a very clear rhythm. I went to work. I taught English there. I went to my Chinese classes. I did my sightseeing around China. Then I came home to the United States. By the way, this is the job that I was supposed to go back to, but COVID hit February of 2020, and I lost my job there. This is Murphy's Law. The worst thing that can happen will happen. Who was ever going to think that you come home for Christmas and then you can't go back to your job in China because there's a global pandemic? That's just, who would ever think of that? Who would ever think that, oh yeah, terrorists are going to hijack 4 planes and they're going to fly them into the World Trade Center and into the Pentagon, and then one of them's going to crash in Pennsylvania? That's Murphy's Law. The worst thing that can happen will happen. And I've learned from all of these things that are happening in the world, you have got to prepare for everything. And this is why when I talked about insurance, when I was talking about investor, you have got to come up with some insurance solutions for everything in your life. Whether your family can bail you out, whether the bank can bail you out, whether an insurance company can bail you out because you're paying for insurance, whether you have enough savings in the bank that can bail you out, whether you have gold in a reserve or buried in your backyard, that's all insurance. And what's the purpose of it? For Murphy's Law. Because the worst thing that can happen is going to happen, and I want to be protected. So I gave you these examples of the drops in China. What happened is I came home and my schedule changed, life changed. And I got up to something like 120 days of using drops. But one day, because of my schedule, I didn't get to use drops that day. The next day, I opened the drops app and I finished the lesson, and it said, "Congrats, you're on day 1 of your streak." And I got so psychologically distressed. It drove me so mad. I was furious. I got stressed. I got so overwhelmed because I got angry that I was so close to having, this perfect streak, and it was just lost. And there was nothing I could do to regain it. And they figured this out. And I think, I don't want to say I wrote to them, but I'm pretty sure I probably wrote to them because I come up with great ideas all the time. And I said to them, I'm so upset that I missed just one day and you took away my streak. You really need to put some system in place where if we are dedicated users that we can somehow keep the streak. I said, I would even pay you $10 if I can get my streak back. So what did they and Busu and so many other app companies do? Now they have something called streak freezes, and where you can earn days off. So on drops, now for every 5 days that you study consecutively, you get a new streak freeze. So you can get 4 streak freezes in a row, which means you can win, you can lose, miss it for 5 days, and you still keep your streak. What's the result of that? I am so much more motivated because I know that I can take a break here or there. Yesterday, I didn't do it, and I was so grateful. It said streak freeze, saved the day. Oh. And so I'm up to something like 96 days now, and my mission is to beat that 120 days that I had when I was in China, that I started. And I'm going to do it now because of the streak freeze. How does this apply to you? If you have a New Year's resolution, those people who want to lose weight and become fit, it's a total mistake if your New Year's resolution is, I'm going to go to the gym every day for 2 hours. Bonkers. You're going to fail. You're going to fail. It might take a day, it might take a week, it might take a year, but one day you're not going to be able to go, and you will break your streak, and you're going to hate yourself. and you're going to give up because you're going to feel overwhelmed, like I have to start all over with the streak. So, what do? Make it very simple. Start every New Year's resolution simple. I'm going to go to the gym once a week for 30 minutes. Guess what? That is doable. That is easy. That is something that you cannot fail at that unless you really are lazy and you really have no desire to lose weight and become fit. But if you just do 30 minutes once a week, if you can do that, you will be more fit than like 80% of Americans and 80% of the people in your life. Why does Planet Fitness make millions and millions, tens, hundreds of millions of dollars? Because the people pay $10 a month and they never go to the gym. What a great business model. I'm going to charge people $10 a month to have unlimited use of the gym, and we make money even if they don't come to the gym. I kind of think it's a little bit unfortunate. I think they should kick people out if they don't show up. Or saying, hey, it's $10 a month, but if you don't come at least once a week, it's $25 a month. That little change to their pricing model would, I think, they'd be doing a better public service for their customers because they're actually encouraging them to get into the gym. So I want you to think about all of your dreams and figure out how could you reduce the stress without completely giving up. That's the one hand. Let's say you're already, let me backtrack. If you haven't come up with your plans yet, whatever plans you create, make sure that they are manageable. Be ambitious. Don't be at 0% stressed, but do not put yourself at 100. Put yourself at 20% to get started, 10%. Just do something to get you up and running. If you really love what you're doing and 30 minutes every week, you get excited about it, great. Increase it to twice a week. Increase it to 3 times a week. But in your mind, all that you're trying to do is 30 minutes every week. Anything else you do is a bonus. Don't change it to, okay, now my goal is twice a week for an hour. I think you're setting yourself up for disaster. You should keep that very minimal goal as your minimum. But if you can exceed that every week, you're a superstar. For me, with this, for the YouTube live streaming, I'm realizing that I'm averaging now about 24 hours of watch time per day. And it's increasing. I'm doing the math. I'm doing a 5-day running average of the watch time. Over the first 5 days, it was 12 hours. Then it went up to 17 hours. Now the 5-day lag watch time per day is 24 hours. But my mission is do 1 live stream per day for MonroeMann, and do 1 live stream per week for breakdiving. That's my other channel for the not-for-profit. If I do that, I will eventually get monetized. And I will be able to make money from both of those channels. But even though I've been doing 2 or 3 live streams per day for MonroeMann, and sometimes I've done 2 or 3 per week for breakdiving. But guys, that's not my goal. In my mind, it's just do 1 per day for MonroeMann and 2 per week for breakdiving. Anything more than that is just going to get me there faster. But this keeps my stress level low. Let me look at some comments. Mr. Kitten Bobber wants me to notice him. I notice you. I hope you're very happy. Next comment, Lily Shorts, because if you go higher than 50 and 30, sometimes you go crazy and go stressed out, then I start to cry. Figure out what your upper level of stress is. Figure out what it is. You're not going to have an actual exact number. When I say 70%, maybe my 70% is your 90%. Maybe my 70% is your definition of 50%. It's just a construct. It's not a scientifically accurate portrayal of what's going on in your brain and the stress and the endorphins or whatever's going on in there. It's just to help you to understand a little bit better. The idea is you never want to be at 0, you never want to be at 100, and you always want to be operating about 10% or 5% lower than your max. That will be peak efficiency for you to get stuff done. It gives you motivation, but it doesn't make you pull your hair out. Mr. Kitten Bobber, do you like garlic bread? Oh, garlic bread, man, he's spamming again. All right, I'm putting you in a 1-minute timeout because I told you not to keep asking about garlic bread. No more garlic bread. Jay Jones, what Norward you at? Don't understand the question? If I don't understand the question, I cannot answer it. Lily Shorts, I just finished doing a Harry Potter Lego set, and I also finished the books. Congratulations. I'm very proud of you for reading that entire book set. Awesome. I love it. You know, Lily, that's a great idea for something you could do for live streams or YouTube channel. Talk about the Harry Potter books. There are so many Harry Potter fans in the world that if you could get a whole community together of people on your stream talking about Harry Potter. So maybe that's an interesting thing to do. And you end up helping J.K. Rowling sell more books. Maybe you become her biggest fan and biggest YouTube fan channel, and she ends up inviting you to help her write her next book. Who knows? Mikhail, message was retracted. Stephen RBX is saying, I will. Thanks so much. Let's be nice. I'm going to make a video. What should my video be about? I just told you, I think maybe Harry Potter books. Steven, I'm going to eat dinner. See you later. Great to see you. Oh, then he says, wait, never mind. I guess he decided he's not eating dinner. He's staying in the live stream. Sylvia Ivor, what is popular? That's good. I could never go skydiving. His handle says, I'm that guy. So what I'm going to say is, he's that guy that always says, I could never. What did Justin Bieber's say in his documentary? The title of it, Never Say Never. Never say never. I don't think I'm ever going to go bungee jumping again because it was a little bit scary for me. But I will never say I will never go bungee jumping again because maybe I will. And there are many times when you said, I would never, and you have ended up doing it. Oh, I would never date that guy. And then you end up dating that guy. I would never marry Mary. No way. And then you end up marrying Mary. I would never invest in crypto because that is just way too risky. Well, and then you go and invest in crypto because you realize if you research it, you can find certain cryptos that are less risky than others. So try not to say never. And try not to say always. Oh my gosh, I always wear jeans in November. And then you wear a pair of shorts on November 15th of this year because it's a really warm day. So, no, don't. If you're still here, message me that as well about always and never. That's another topic we could go into in depth. Lily's scared of heights. That's precisely why you should probably go skydiving because I think it'll help you overcome that. How long does it take for the parachute to open? So from when you pull your ripcord when you're falling, and you can see right here, I reach down behind there and I push the ripcord out and the pilot chute catches the air. It takes about 5 seconds total from when the moment I release the ripcord and throw it out until the parachute is fully open if everything goes perfectly. Sometimes the parachute takes a little bit longer to open and it could take 7 to 10 seconds. And so I've learned with practice, don't panic if it's been 5 seconds. Just look up, see if it's starting to catch the air, and eventually it always opens. And in fact, it's always opened for me. This wasn't a parachute opening problem. There was a problem with one of the lines and it just got tangled. And I'm back now, Zaire. I've been great. I've missed you, but it's great to see you. Lily Shorts, hello. Violetta, pretty good. I'm almost at 5 subs. I'm hoping we're getting there. Lily, have I subscribed to your channel yet? If not, leave a comment on one of my videos, and just remind me that you are on the live stream, and I will subscribe to you. Hello, Chicken Nuggets. Great to see you, Gemma. Of course I missed you. Now you're making me hungry and makes me want to walk to Burger King and go get some chicken nuggets over there. And how to stop perfectionist mindset. So that's another thing. Let me write that down. How to stop being a perfectionist. I'll add that to my list of upcoming live streams. How to stop being a perfectionist. Awesome. I will share that. That's going to take a whole hour, guys. So Mutiara, by the way, I recognize you, I think. Good to see you again. Please subscribe if you haven't, and turn on notifications. You'll be notified when I am doing the live stream for how to stop being a perfectionist. The Grom Main, of course I remember you. Great to see you. I hope you're still here. And let's see. And thank you, Violetta, for deleting some of these messages that were not appropriate. Yes, I totally missed you. By the way, Chicken Nuggets, I will see your messages eventually, so you don't have to keep asking me over and over again, did you miss me, did you miss me? I will see the message when I stop on my little monologue, and I go through and look through. And so whoever this Somari person is, Violetta, you can block them for 24 hours, timeout for 24 hours. And if that person comes back and keeps saying those disturbing things, we can block that person forever from the stream. But we'll give that person a chance to learn how to be a good member of this YouTube community. And hello, Unknown. It's funny, I'm saying hi to someone named Unknown. Am I saying hi to anybody then? Because if the person is unknown, how is hi saying hello? If that person is unknown. Very curious. Almost done with the Cadillac. Awesome. No, Jesse Pinkman is not here. Moderator Jesse is usually here when I do very late live streams, or when I do early morning ones in the U.S. I think Jesse is sleeping right now. Mr. Fly, hey, what's going on? You know what's unfortunate? I hate that. I think I've lost a bunch of viewers right now. It says there are 3 or 4. I can't look at the live stream sometimes when I'm talking, and I hate that I maybe miss some of you guys when you're here. So anyway, Mr. Fly, good to see you. Thanks, Mutiara, and you always get the notifications. Zair's back. Your dad needed me. You always got to help Papa. And yeah, as CLVR said, thank you for subbing to the channel. And guys, I want to share some good news. I have 5 Patreon supporters now, making now a total of $18 a month from supporters, which is giving me encouragement to keep going, because I think by the end of the month, we're going to get to $50. One of those supporters lives in India. Someone likes me so much that they're sending love and financial support from India. And again, for those of you who cannot be a Patreon supporter or send a one-time support via CashApp, you just watching these videos is payment, and clicking like and subscribing. Everybody is helping in some way, so never feel that you're not contributing. But it's a reminder that I do need to get some financial support for me to keep doing so much of this. And think about it, if I can eventually not have to make money elsewhere from anywhere, I can maybe even do more content here, make it even more interesting. Maybe I could start. What I want to do, guys, I will just tell you this. You're hearing it first right now. As you know, I'm an actor. I'm a film producer. I'm a screenwriter. And the most successful film I did was You Can't Kill Stephen King. You can watch it for free now on Tubi. You can watch it for free now on Fandango and on Vudu. These are all apps where you can watch movies. It's a cool, funny horror comedy film. But I've missed making movies and I've missed acting. I'm working on creating a comedy web series about people living in South Beach, Florida. I'm also working on maybe doing a web series about English teachers, and because I think that's really funny. And what I'm going to do is, now that I have so many more fans here who like the stuff that I do, I'm going to maybe try to start putting some of those into production. So even though I'm going to keep doing these live streams, I think I'm going to try to put up some web series as well too, to make you guys laugh and whatnot. So just to let you know, I'm considering that right now. And Mr. Fly, it used to be on Netflix. That was our first distributor back when the film came out in about 2012, 13, 14, something around there. But now it's moved off of that. I don't know if you know how it moves from platform to platform. We were on Amazon Prime for a while. You can still buy the film on Prime. You can rent it. You can rent it on YouTube Movies. You can basically see it everywhere. But if you want to watch it for free, it's on Tubi, Fandango, and Vudu right now. And I'm sure it'll change later. Our agent is going to let us know when it moves to the next place. And Mr. Monroe, I'm in the last semester in my degree right now, says Mutiara. But why, since 2 weeks ago, I always think to finish my thesis paper next year. Well, honestly, I should finish that this year. I don't know why. I'll tell you why. Because you're realizing it's a heck of a lot of work to do a thesis. And your mind is saying, hey, I want to move down to 0% stress. I don't want to go up to 40 or 50%. And I'm telling you, you are going to have far more stress if that thing keeps going up to 40 and 50% because you keep pushing it off, than if you just go up to 20% now and just get the thing done. Let me tell you a story about when I was teaching at the language school here in Miami Beach. One of my students was from Sweden. And every time I saw her in class, it was on Wednesdays and Fridays, she'd be looking sad and depressed and like, she just looked anxious and nervous. And I finally said, I think her name was Anya. And I said, Anya, we're stopping class right now and you're going to tell us what the heck is going on. And everyone laughed and like, why do you look so miserable every day in class? And everyone laughs. And she said, oh, just something personal. I said, is it really personal or is it something that you can share? She goes, I guess I can share it. I said, okay, share it. And she said, I haven't done my taxes yet in Sweden. I said, oh, okay. Well, that's certainly something that could stress us all out. And I said, well, how long have you been stressing about this? She said, for 2 months. Okay. I said, when are the taxes due? She goes, not for about another 2 months. And then I said, this is the key question. How long will it take for you to finish your taxes? She said, 1 hour. She said 1 hour. And for the last 2 weeks, she'd been in my class so stressed out and nervous. And I said to her, Anya, so you're telling me for the last 2 weeks, you've been coming into my classroom being completely nervous and anxious over something for weeks and weeks. You've been anxious over something that you could finish in 1 hour. And she realized my psychology here and she went, yeah, I kind of know what you're saying. I said, what am I saying? And she got it. She said, I should probably just finish the taxes. And I said, yeah. And this was a Wednesday. I said, you better come in class on Friday with a smile on your face and tell the class that you spent 1 hour and finished your taxes. And she said, I'm going to do it. And I usually go up to the students and go, pinky promise to make it a contract. I said, all right, Anya, you promise? And she said, pinky promise. So everybody was there. It was a pinky promise. She came in on Friday, big smile. She was like, I said, what happened, Anya? And she goes, and everyone said, we know what happened. I goes, did you get your taxes done? She goes, my taxes are done. And she said, I even got money back from the government. So, Mutiara, that's your answer. Right now, you were being like Anya, my Swedish student. And you are making yourself more stressed by delaying it. More often than not, we create more stress in our heads by delaying something that usually will only take an hour or two to fix. Think about that. We get more stressed out of thinking about doing something than we would actually get by actually doing it. So she spent weeks and weeks stressing about doing something that would only take 1 hour. When she finally had someone, me, saying, get off your ass, stop being lazy, and finish it, she did it. She did it in 1 hour, and she came back to class, and she was happy, and she had money in the bank, and her taxes were done. So Mutiara, get off your ass, with all due respect, and finish your thesis this year so you can move on with your life. Parkinson's law. I talk about this a lot. I'll mention it again for the people who don't know. Parkinson's law, let me check, make sure I have battery. Okay, I have 63%, so we're good. Parkinson's law states the amount of time you are given to complete a project is directly related to how long it takes for you to complete the project. So Mutiara, if you give yourself to next year to finish your thesis, guess what? You're not going to finish it until next year. If you are willing to give yourself a little bit more stress, 10% more stress, to finish your thesis this year, and you apply Parkinson's law, not only are you going to finish this thing so much more quickly, but you're going to do it with far less stress, because I'm telling you, the stress of thinking about doing something is worse than usually the stress of actually doing something. How many times you've gotten an email from somebody that you think is going to be really bad? It's going to be really emotional, or they're going to be angry at you, or they're going to be yelling at you, or it's about you asked for a raise and your boss, this is the boss's response, or you made an offer and you think you're going to get fired for it, or you did something, and at least that's where I act. When I get that response, I go, they just responded. I don't want to read it. I'm scared to read it. And I've gotten better at this over the years. It used to be that I would not look at an email like that for a couple of days, and it would just sit there. And I'd be stressing about it, and then I'd read the email and be like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Either they agreed with me, or they gave me the raise, or they said no, but said it in a nice way, and it wasn't bad. It's very rare that I've gotten a horrible response, but I was thinking that I'm going to get these horrible responses. I've gotten better over the years because I've trained myself to realize, Monroe, it's probably not as bad as you think. And so I'm able to open emails with a lot more objectivity, but as a result, my stress level is reduced. Why? Because I don't allow myself to fester in my head. Oh my gosh, what's the email going to say? Oh my gosh, oh my God. Just open the email and read it. And I've also learned a tactic. If I still can't open the email and read it, I'll call my friend Federico, or I'll bring it to my mom, or I'll bring it to a friend. I'll even go to a stranger in a coffee shop and just go, hey, I need your help. I'll buy your coffee if you can just read this email for me and tell me if it's good news or bad news. And guess what? They get a coffee out of it, and I reduce my stress because I don't have to read the email, and they can just tell me, oh, I don't think it's so bad. And they're like, wonderful, great news. Let me read some more comments. What kind of more depressed now? Gotta go. See you, Mr. Fly. Got 1 to 5. It's stressing me out as school. We're going to talk about how to reduce stress in a second. Because I said, how do we overcome this feeling of being overwhelmed? First, I'm giving you all this psychological stuff so you can understand it. And these last 10 to 15, whatever minutes, I'm going to just help you reduce that stress. Mostly kind of depressed. Thank you. That's why I'm crying. Thank you, Monroe. You're welcome. Nico says, great stream, Monroe. I love it. Thank you so much. Nico, by the way, I saw that you joined the Discord. I don't know if you saw the updates. It was overwhelming me because I didn't understand really what it was, and it was interfering with break diving and stuff. So the Discord for MonroeMann and the RoMann Legion is currently gone. I'm working with Mr. Goodcat now to bring it back, but we have to figure out how it works first. And when you say, when will Federico be back, do you mean in the chat or on a live stream? I'll bring him back on a live stream one of these days. He's focusing on helping me with the Intertech Global company, the private investigation firm now, and he's taking over the YouTube channel for that. So I know he's working hard to help build up the subscribers there. What's up, Lily? Great to see you again. So now, In the last part of this live stream, what you all have been waiting for, drum roll please. Well, before we get to the drum roll, Lily's got something to say. Raising my own stress because of school. I'm depressed because I don't have anybody else with me. The only one that was with me was my grandma, and she died of COVID. So, first of all, everybody here, let's send some love to Lily for the loss of her grandmother. I know that's very difficult when somebody dies. And it's very confusing, and sometimes it takes a long time to try to figure that out. My dad died 7 years ago, and literally only since this live streaming has started, I've started to kind of figure out my life since he died. And it's hard sometimes when you think about. I mean, we miss our loved ones, right? And I miss my dad, and I know you miss your grandma. And it's really hard when you lose somebody. And it's okay to cry, right? It's weird. Life is really strange. And I don't completely understand it. But what I do know is life is easier when you have people who support you. And if this live stream can be if I can be your friend, and if I know many of you are making friends here on the chat, I'm so happy for that. And I'm happy for the people in breakdiving because I've made so many friends there as well. And Lily, your grandma's looking down on you now and she is supporting you. My dad is looking at me and he's super proud of me that I'm doing these live streams, and that he was a lawyer and he was in World War II. It's so hard for me to talk about. I can't believe this. I haven't cried about my dad in a long time. Sometimes it comes out, and now I'm doing it on YouTube and live in front of a bunch of people. But also, I think that's an important thing too. It's okay to cry in front of other people. So many people want to be tough. They want to be a man, or they want to look strong. And I think the truth is real people cry. Real people have emotions. And Lily, you are going to find more friends. And you're going to have more friends at school. Your YouTube channel, if you work on it, it's going to get more and more successful. And maybe you'll be doing live streams like what I'm doing soon too. So anyway, and my parents' friends off himself recently. I'm very stressed from it. One of my friends committed suicide too when I was in 6th, 7th grade or something, and that was really hard. And it was very confusing. Two of my best friends died when I was in elementary school. And that was just crazy. And I one of the reasons why I do so much, I remember reading when my friend Tom died, when my friend Pete died, and I was in elementary school and early high school when these two deaths happened. The thing that helped me to push forward, and it's something that I remember now, is this quote, "Do it for those who can't." And I'm writing that down again because I'll do another live stream about that. Do it for those who can't. What do I mean by that? My friend Tom, my friend Pete, they both died in elementary school age and early high school age. One was a freak accident with a boulder that toppled him, and the other was a complication with open heart surgery. And when Pete died, who was my true best friend, I was so devastated when that happened. I didn't even go to his funeral. And I'm always sad about that, but I was so devastated, and I didn't understand death. I didn't understand what happened. How could Pete Sears be gone? And it was just, it was heartbreaking. But I found this quote years later, "Do it for those who can't." What does it mean? I realized Pete and Tom didn't get to grow up and have a full life. they did a lot of amazing things in their lives, but they didn't get to do what I've done. And I always thought, like, why did I find the guts to jump out of an airplane? Because I'm going to do it for those who can't. Tom and Pete could never jump out of an airplane because they never reached 18. Do it for those who can't. Why did I write so many books? Because Tom and Pete never got to write any books. Why am I doing live streams every single day? Even though it's exhausting and my voice hurts, and do it for those who can't. So if you're looking for courage, remember there is someone in this world who died today, who had the same dream that you have, but they're not here. Do it for them. Pick up the dream that they left. I guarantee you there is somebody who wanted to be a successful YouTuber and was starting to make progress, but that person died. Well, I'm picking up that legacy and I'm going to keep pushing forward with that person's dream. Let me just keep going, read some comments. Remember me, Kenneth Contoise, good to see you. Lily's crying now too. We're all crying today on this stream, but it's fine because we're all amongst friends here. Lily, Mr. Monroe, I lost my grandma too in 2018 and it really hurts. And now you're crying. So I'm crying with you guys. I love you all, guys, and there's no shame in you guys crying because you just saw me cry too, right? And I'll probably cry again in some of these live streams because I'm being myself. I'm being MonroeMann. And again, this is what some people have said, why suddenly these live streams are working for me when my normal videos weren't as successful. Because I am being 100% raw here, and I'm just telling you like it is. There's no editing, there's no filter. It's just me. You're welcome for the advice. Zaire, you lost your papa from a heart attack in 2022. Gosh, I'm praying for you, my friend, too. That's even more raw. That's only 2 years ago. So, I mean, let's give some love to Zaire and keep him in our prayers. I'm sorry, but know that, A, it's a part of life. All of us were born, all of us are going to die. And just as we are mourning the people who died, when we die, other people will mourn us. And they're going to be crying on some YouTube live stream about you or about me. And Lily's still crying. All good. We're good. I'm usually not the one to cry, but now I'm tearing up right now. CLVR. Guys, it's okay. Real men cry. Real women cry. And I'm glad you can. It means we are among friends here. And it means that we care enough to let our guard down because no one is going to hurt you here. Right? Zaire says, I'm sorry for everyone who's lost a loved one or a best friend. They're still looking down on you and they're still in your heart. 100%. Absolutely, Zaire. I agree. Lily says that she almost lost her dad. Just remember, love them as much as you can while they're here. I'm going to do my best not to cry again, but I mean, I'm thinking about my mom. And she's getting older now, you know, and one time she's not going to be here. But think of Murphy's Law, too. We all think that our parents are going to die before us. You could die before your parents die. And that's why I have life insurance on my own life. So if I do die before my mom is going to be taken care of financially for the rest of her life. Because I want to look out for her. And Murphy's Law is, that's why you buy life insurance, because of Murphy's Law. Not because it's likely to happen. It's because it's unlikely to happen, but if it does, you want to make sure your family is not destroyed financially. Not only are they going to deal with your death, but you're going to give them financial problems as well. At least if you die prematurely and then they find out you gave them 250 grand or $1 million or whatever. Well, yes, they're crying, but now they're crying tears of joy that you thought you loved them so much to give them life insurance so that they can. I'm going to do another stream on life insurance, a whole one on that, because I think it's boring, but it's MonroeMann here. I'll make it interesting for you. Lily says, sometimes when I fail a test, I think that I'm a failure. Think about the difference between failing a test and failing a test once and being a failure in general. That's a big psychological thing that even I struggle with. Because sometimes when you're feeling depressed and miserable and at your worst, it's easy to say, I'm such a loser in general. I am such a failure in general. I am such a waste of a human in general. But no, that's not true. You're not a failure, you just failed one test. You are not a loser, you just lost once. You are not a waste of a human, you just feel sad today, right? And this is called all or nothing thinking or black and white thinking. And we all have to stop that. So, Lily, you're not a failure, you failed one test. Big deal. Study again and pass it. My biology thing, I missed 2 quizzes. Actually, you know why I missed the 2 quizzes? I forgot about the quizzes because I was doing live streaming. You guys are to blame. I blame you. No, just kidding. I take full responsibility. That's what brake divers do. That's what that you guys should always do. We take responsibility. Last year in December, my great-grandpa died from cancer. I was in his house 3 months before. CLVR, grandpa died recently. Crazy. I get it. We all are going to deal with this at some point in our life. There is not one person in this life who is not going to deal with death of a loved one. And nothing can prepare you for it. Nothing's going to make it easier. And nothing's going to make you completely forget about it. 7 years later, and you guys saw me crying about my dad. I'm not going to talk about it again because it's going to get me all teared up. Zaire says, thank you, Monroe. I know it's part of life. It just doesn't feel real. Exactly. Lily says, my mom and dad said that someday everyone's going to die and it's a part of life. Like when, before I turn into a teenager, I feel like I'm going to die. You're not going to die as a teenager, I promise. It's going to be an interesting time in your life, and it's neither going to be great, neither is it going to be terrible, but you're going to get through it. And it's a part of life, that's right. Now, let me just conclude here with the last thing is how can you reduce the stress in your life? And how do you reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed? The first step is take a deep breath. That's number 1. And it doesn't have to be a literal one, but it could be. Just you need to just stop for a second and go. Why do you want to do that? Because you have to stop this crazy thinking of. If you take a deep breath, you're not going to do that. Take a deep breath. You can physically actually do it too. Take 2 or 3 deep breaths. When the parachute had a problem, and as soon as I realized there was a big issue, I took a deep breath and said, Monroe, I actually started talking to myself out loud. Monroe, what's the problem? Okay. I said, okay, there's a knot here. Like, what can I do to fix it? And I said, I can't let go of my right hand because I'm going to go into a spin, so I have to use one hand. And I said, how much time do I have to make this decision? I looked at my altimeter, and I'm talking out loud. Okay, I probably got about 2 minutes to make this decision. So I started to figure it out, blah, 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 blah. And I got to 4,000 feet and said, all right, Monroe, what's your decision? And I said, all right, let's pull the reserve. Let's pull the cutaway. You have to control your mind and slow down your thinking. And because you have to slow down your thinking enough to not make a rash decision. When you are stressed and you are overwhelmed, do not make decisions. Sometimes you hear, like, I had to make a split-second decision. And I get it. There are some situations where you have to make a split-second decision. But even then, you're still taking a split second. It's not instantaneous. You still had a moment to think what to do, and then you did it. As much time as you can, slow down so you can make a decision. Number 2, make sure you don't just quit. All you need to do to stop feeling overwhelmed is to reduce your stress level a little bit, 5, 10, 20%, to get it below your maximum threshold. As soon as it's below your maximum threshold, like I said, mine's about 70%. If I'm at 90, all I need to do is slow down enough to get me to 70%, and ideally 69 or 68%. Because then that's what allows you to go, okay, I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna figure this out. Now, how can you do that? How can you reduce your stress level by 10 or 20% very quickly? The number one way to do it is make a list of everything that is stressing you out, and then come up with what's one thing you can do to fix that. And I find if I do that, if I write down the 12 things that are stressing me out, one of you said that I'm stressed about becoming a teenager and going to high school or whatever. Write down all the things that are actually stressing you out about becoming a teenager and going to high school. I'm scared about not having friends. I am scared about going through puberty. I am scared about being beaten up. I'm scared about having too many friends. I'm scared about being too popular. I don't know, whatever's stressing you out, write it down. And then on the next side of it, put what's one solution? Or do I really need to stress about this? Usually it's like, for example, I'm stressed about becoming a teenager. What's the solution? You're not a teenager yet. You've got 2 years, or you got a year, you got 3 years. Big deal. Don't stress about something that hasn't happened yet. If you don't have a piece of paper to calm you down, just talk out loud. Okay, the top 3 things that are stressing me out right now, like for me, is the YouTube live stuff, helping my mom, and what else is this? And I guess those are the 2 main things, is the YouTube live and helping my mom. Okay, and then say, okay, what are the main things that are stressing you out about them? Number 1 is the YouTube live. Am I going to make this successful? Am I going to get to the point where this is my full-time job? How much longer can I do this before I have to start using more of my investments and selling stock, or going to get another job somewhere? Not cool. Okay, what's the solution? Keep working every single day doing the live streams. Keep trying to figure out a way to monetize this more quickly. 3, look at what are the next investments that I would have to sell in order to keep this thing going. Okay, cool. That reduces the stress, and etc. And you just do that. You realize that me talking to you in some way is therapy for me? Do you realize that me talking to you inspires me? Me talking to you about my issues and telling you about how to motivate yourself is motivating me. Let me look at some of these comments. How to balance my time, my college, and my work at the notary office. So I'm going to do a whole other live stream. I'll do more on time management. Let me just write that down. Time management, balancing and juggling. I'll just call that balancing and juggling many different things. Because I could talk about that for an hour, and it's been an hour and a half, and I am exhausted. Because I think the reason I can't finish my papers is because my focus is 99% I give to my notary office. I'll just tell you one thing. Talk to your boss. That's the number 1 thing. Talk to your boss, first of all, and say, hey, I need to finish my thesis. Can we figure out some way that I can have some time off, or to make me more efficient here? That's just the basic suggestion. Talk to your boss. At least you'll get some discussion going, and that your boss will know that you're struggling. I'll give you more suggestions when I do this, the general time management live stream about juggling projects. Mutiara, let me know what your name, how old are you, by the way, too? Because that also helps me to know that your age, when I'm just kind of knowing how to give you the best counsel. Lily, okay, yeah, don't have that much time. Thank you, make us cry today. You're welcome. I'm glad I make you feel comfortable. Sometimes Lily feels lonely if I have nobody to talk to. CLVR, hey, Stay strong, my friend. It's okay to cry. Honestly, crying makes you feel better. Believe it or not. And when you cry, the amount of stress that leaves your body is incredible. This is why, literally me just crying right now, I feel so good now. Because you get, I don't know what it is. Well, I want to look on that. I want to look on the science of crying. And I mean, I'm in these biology classes and I'm in these pre-med classes. I want to research and find out, what does crying do to the body that makes you feel better? I think it has something to do with tears. Think about that. Tears are a very weird thing. Why do we have tears that come out of our body when we cry, our eyes? Isn't it weird to think about it? We feel sad and emotional and we cry. Super crazy. Let me see, why does crying feel good? We're going to do a live stream on that. I'm going to do some research and we're going to have a blast. We're going to have a cry fest, guys. If you cried today, get ready because we're going to cry a lot when we talk. No, I'm just kidding. So, Mutiara, you're 21. It's a perfect age. I think you're just kind of getting out of school or you're in school, but you're still working at a job. So I get it. It's very difficult to learn how to juggle a lot of things. I will talk about this soon, about time management. For now, please. I did a live stream about a week and a half ago about your why. And that is the number one time management tip, is finding your why. So go watch that live stream. And go talk to your boss, even if you hate your boss, and just say, hey, can I talk to you about something? Is there any way that you can help me find a solution? Okay? And I'm going to be doing a live after this if you want to join. Awesome, CLVR. I'll definitely be able to join for a little bit. And if you guys, anyone else wants to join CLVR, he's doing some, I don't know, he does drawing sometimes. I'm not sure what else he does. But certainly if we can support him, that's great. And let's see. And Logan says, hey, my friend Drake is also a reviewer. He would like a shout out. Hey, Drake. Great to see you. Thank you for watching. I hope you'll give a like. And I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. I hope you will click the bell and get the notifications. Watch some of my other videos to help me with watch time. And as always, with all you guys, please, you can learn more about me. Go to MonroeMann.com. MonroeMannLaw.com, InvestLikeAnInvestor.com, BreakDiving.io, and check out my other YouTube channel, Break Diving, BREAK. Check out my other company's channel, Intertect Global, right? And I guess that's it. I have a bunch of books on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. Go check those out if you want to read some of my books. That would be awesome. I have music on Apple Music and Spotify. Would love you to add me to your playlists there. And let's keep in touch. I'll see you guys again. Maybe I'll do another live stream tonight. Who knows? Sometimes I do some of them at midnight or 1 a.m. if I'm still awake. I may do a break diving one later today. That may be what I do. And yeah, we got 16 likes. 17 likes. You guys are awesome. And again, if you can go to CLVR's channel, he is doing a live stream now. Violetta just did a live stream about her drawing of a Cadillac, which is worth watching because that Cadillac is amazing. And I don't know why crying makes us feel better, makes us get all the pressure out of our shoulders. Yeah, but the question is, Lily, but why? Why does it do that? I want to figure out what's in tears. What is it that makes crying help us feel better? It's a fascinating thing. Guys, I'm glad we all cried together. I love all you guys. Your parents and grandparents and friends all love you, even if they're not with us here physically. Thank you, Mitiera. Thank you, Violetta and Lily and everybody else, CLVR. You guys are awesome. I will see you soon. Love ya. Bye.